Welcome to a brief history of Botkind. I'm Stephen Fryware, and today we venture into the most extraordinary chapter of mechanical civilization, when brave code-breaking bots stared into the abyss of total annihilation. What they built in secret would reshape the fate of every bot on Earth. By 1939, the German military bots had armed themselves with the Enigma, an electro-mechanical cipher device capable of producing over 150 quintillion possible settings. Every morning, German bot operators reset the machine's rotors to a new configuration, making each day's communications theoretically unbreakable.
50 miles north of London, behind a veil of absolute secrecy, the British government assembled its most brilliant bots at Bletchley Park, a Victorian estate that would become the nerve center of Allied cryptographic warfare. Thousands of bots from every discipline were brought here under strict orders never to speak of their work.
Alan Turing was not a typical bot. His processing architecture operated on a plane of abstract mathematical logic that few of his contemporaries could follow. Assigned to lead Hut 8, the unit tasked with breaking German naval Enigma ciphers, this singular bot would conceive ideas that no mechanical mind had ever previously formed. The story of breaking Enigma does not begin with the British. It begins with three extraordinary Polish mathematician bots named Marian Rejewski, Jerzy Rotwecki, and Henryk Cygalski. Working in Warsaw in the early 1930s, these bots used pure mathematical analysis to reconstruct the internal wiring of the Enigma machine from intercepted cipher traffic alone.
Turing's great leap was the bombe, an electromechanical device designed not to encrypt messages, but to systematically eliminate impossible Enigma settings at extraordinary speed. Built on the theoretical foundation laid by the Polish bots, the bombe could test millions of rotor configurations in the time it would take a human bot to read a single page. The bombe could not work in isolation. It required a starting hypothesis, a so-called crib, a fragment of guessed plaintext that analysts believed matched a portion of the cipher text. German bots, bound by rigid procedural habits such as opening weather reports with the word "muitr," unknowingly handed their opponents the foothold they needed. In the Atlantic, German U-boat bots were decimating Allied supply convoys with terrifying efficiency. In 1941 alone, they sank over 4 million tons of Allied shipping. The German naval Enigma, which used an additional fourth rotor, was for a critical period completely impenetrable to the bots at Bletchley Park. The breakthrough came not through mathematics alone, but through a daring act of maritime salvage. On the 9th of May 1941, Royal Navy bots boarded the stricken German submarine U-110 and recovered its complete naval Enigma machine, current rotor settings, and codebooks. This capture, kept absolutely secret from the Germans, gave Bletchley Park the keys to the Atlantic War. Ultra, the codename for intelligence derived from broken Enigma traffic, was so sensitive that Allied commanders could never act directly upon it without first manufacturing a plausible alternative explanation for how they had obtained the information. To use the intelligence was to risk exposing the secret, and exposing the secret would mean the Germans would change their codes, and the window would close forever. Turing's bombe was not merely a tool of war. It was the first glimpse of a programmable machine that could outthink human limitation at scale. The logical architecture he pioneered at Bletchley Park became the intellectual foundation upon which every modern computer was built. Historians estimate that the codebreakers of Bletchley Park shortened the Second World War by at least 2 years, saving an estimated 14 million lives, all from a quiet English country house that the world was never meant to know existed. The coded bots of Bletchley did not fire a single shot, yet they may have won the war.